really matters.
Hello, and thank you for joining me here on hmTV. I'm your host, Bernie Furshpan of Raised by Survivors. Here at the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center, I have a very special guest with me today, Marlene Steiner, a dear friend of mine whose mom survived the Holocaust. She lived in Barnes. Is that right? Marlene Steiner, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me and giving me the opportunity to talk about what my family went through. So an entire town was told to leave at once. And my mom told me there was one soldier in front and one soldier behind, and the entire town walked. And they walked towards from Radauti, that's the town that they lived in, to the Ukraine. And whoever dropped. Whoever wasn't able to walk, the soldier said, just leave them. Same thing for kids. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I recall is my mother said the cries of the people leaving their loved ones.
So where did they leave? They left Romania?
Yes, they just went out on the road.
Do you know the town that she lived in?
She lived in Rădăuți. It's spelled Raduti, but pronounced Radauti. Mm-hmm. And they spoke German there as well. That's one of the reasons why they were taken out. Right. They were made to walk. They took whatever they could, thinking that, they could use some things. And as things got heavy, after hours and hours, things fell. And my mother said they got to one point where she saw the first thing she saw were dead people like mountains, and the parents tried to protect them from it because they were three kids. My mom, her sister, who's about 14 months younger, and she had an older brother who died very shortly after they started walking, along with my grandmother. So I never even saw a picture of him. I have no idea what he looks like.
Right. I have no idea what my family looks like. Other than my grandmother, there's only one photograph. Other than that, I have no idea what anybody looked like.
Isn't that amazing? It
is amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing that it's actually miraculous that a few survived.
Yes, it is.
Because it was the Nazi regime's intention to destroy the entire nation, every single Jewish person in Europe. Thank God they didn't succeed, and thank God for miracles.
Yes.
So let's turn the clock forward a little bit. You were born here in America.
No, I was born in Romania.
Okay, I had no idea. So did your mom go back to Romania, or did she stay in Romania?
No, they were told to go. It took a year for the survivors to go back. I do believe at one point she was carrying munitions and helping towards the end of the war. My mom was this little petite, very genteel woman, and I was like, "You carried munitions?" She said, "Yes, we had to." So she made her way back. Her father, who survived, and her sister, he said, "Girls, I want you to live. I want you to go back, and I want you to have a happy life." And he came back as well. And my mother said, at one point, she didn't even care anymore. She had no feelings because the horrors of what she saw and experienced, and life didn't mean anything. But she did what he told her to because she was a good girl.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so you were born in Romania.
I was born in Romania. When they came back, my mother married my dad, who was also in concentration camp.
Wow.
And they moved to, I believe it was his house, his former house. No, it wasn't either former house. They moved to a house, and my mother's house was like the Frick Museum. They had built it about a year and a half before they were chased out. The parents built it. I had seen a picture once, and I was like, "Ooh, what's this house?" And she said, "That was our house." And I was like, "That can't be. It's like the Frick Museum." She said, "That was our house."
Wow.
That's So they went back, and there I came along after 3 tries that didn't happen, and in Romania. And we left when I was 4 years old.
So they were pretty wealthy in order to have a house that looked like the Frick Museum. I've been to the Frick Museum.
Yeah.
It's quite a fancy place.
Quite a fancy place.
One of the fanciest in New York City, quite honestly.
So,
and it has quite a big footprint too.
Yeah.
I mean, its own footprint on almost an entire block.
I wanted to see if I could find the picture, but I didn't. I couldn't find it.
That's pretty incredible.
But they were well-to-do. She went to private schools, etc.
Okay. So you ended up here in the United States at what age?
At the age of 9. I went to Israel at the age of 4. We left. Hayas took us out.
Okay.
And brought us to Israel.
So you lived in Israel for a period of time?
For 5 years.
I didn't even know this.
There you go.
Okay. I'm Israeli too.
Yeah, I know.
I know. We have so much in common.
Yeah.
We're finding this out after 20 years.
There, exactly.
So tell me more. So tell me, you lived in Israel for 5 years and then you ended up in New York?
Yes. So my father was a furrier by trade.
Okay.
And there were no jobs. At one point, he was washing buses and working in a restaurant. And when I went to get ice cream, he was like, "Get the hell out of here." He was embarrassed. And his relatives came and said, "Oh, Bernie, come to the United States, you'll have a job." And he did. He came and he started his profession again, but never the same as it was in Romania because, he came from a background of businessmen. Mm-hmm. So that's how we came. I was so upset that they took me from Israel because I had my friends, my school, everything, that I lay on the doorstep for 6 months. And I said, "I'm not getting up." I got up to sleep, go to the bathroom, eat, but I refused until they were going to bring me home, and they never did. So there was a point when I got up, I got tired of it. And so that was my entree into Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. What part of Brooklyn?
14th Street between O and P.
Okay. So I grew up on Avenue S.
Amazing.
Really amazing. And 34th. What am I saying?
Did you go to Madison, James Madison?
That's in the film. I talk about James Madison High School. Yep. I went to Marine Park Junior High School.
Okay.
And I lived near Fillmore, if you know where that is.
Yeah, I do.
Where King's Plaza is, basically. I had great memories of my childhood in Brooklyn, quite honestly, and Israel as well.
Yeah. I mean, after I got up and started making friends, I had a wonderful time. And, New York is my home.
So when did you end up in Manhattan?
When I was 19, I took my mattress, put it on my boyfriend's car on top, and I said, "I'm never going back to Brooklyn," because it was very uncool then. And now, of course,
it's very cool.
I can't get into.
You can't get into Brooklyn. It's so funny.
Yeah,
And so when did you get into real estate?
In 1992. And I used to say, I love walking the streets, and now I get paid for walking the streets.
Well, you're an incredible real estate agent. You won many awards, I know. You worked for Douglas Elliman?
And I worked for Corcoran first.
Oh, Corcoran, right?
Yeah, at first.
Right.
And then I'm at Douglas Elliman now.
Yes, very good. And so I've always been proud of all the work that you do. And you've always made posts that are very heartwarming. You talk a lot about your mom. You talk about your kids.
Yeah.
You adopted 2 kids.
Yes, I did.
Wonderful children.
You
raised them right. You really did.
One's going to be an architect.
Right.
And
who's going to be the architect?
Anderson.
He's going to be the architect.
Yeah, he was drawing since he was 3
very
years
good.
old. He was
and
drawing
your daughter?
buildings. And she's doing environmental biology in the School of EFS, Science, Forestry, etc.
And where's this?
It's in Syracuse.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's good for her.
So that's
great kids. You raised them right. They're going to do great.
They're wonderful.
You're going to have a wonderful life. Thanks to you.
Thank you, yeah.
And thanks to them.
Thanks to them.
Yeah, thanks to them too, because they're smart kids. They really are.
And they have friends, and they're just, to me, perfect.
Yeah, well, it's fantastic. It's good. It's good that we reconnected, and we have a lot in common. Obviously, we have a lot in common actually.
Yes.
Plus the fact that both our parents were survivors, and each survivor has an incredible story. 6 million people that were killed. They each had their own stories that have to be told.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of people. People don't realize that 6 million is the entire population of Brooklyn plus Queens plus Nassau County.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's very sad.
It is very sad. It's an incredible amount of people, each individual person with their own history, legacy. It's just so much pain that the Jewish nation endured. And then when you see the rise of anti-Semitism spiking again, it's like, you've got to be kidding me.
Exactly.
I mean, are we attacking you? Are we hating you? What is wrong with this world?
I don't know. And I keep thinking, where does this hate come from? Because it's ingrained, it's in there, and it comes out periodically. It's
right. Well, it comes out with certain people.
Yes.
But there are other people who have no idea why they even hate, but they join this big club, okay? This bandwagon of hate, just so that they feel that they can identify with something, like they're part of, they think they're doing something good, actually.
Yes.
That's the problem, is that they're misled.
And they don't even think about it. You know, why am I here? Why am I standing telling people to...
They just want to be part of something that they think is exciting, that they're doing something great for society. And they're so wrong because they have all the wrong facts.
Yep.
They've been misled. And so we want young people today to use their brains a little bit.
Yep.
I think that we've been spoiled. Like when we grew up, you know, we had telephones, and then we had computers, and then now kids have, you know, access to so much information and communication and social media. They're constantly bombarded. They're constantly fed with disinformation, misleading information that can sway them to a place that, you know, they shouldn't be going, quite honestly.
They're not even thinking about it.
Nobody's thinking about it. Why isn't this society fed up with hate and war and all of that? Why can't we just get along? I mean, we've been saying that for so long.
Seems so easy.
Why can't we just get along?
Isn't it easier to have coffee with someone
it really
than kill
is.
someone?
People love to travel, right? They love to travel. I love to travel and like to meet new people. People, as long as they don't know where I'm from, if they have any political opinions about whatever it is, as long as they don't know where I'm from and what political position I take, they're fine with me. You know, we have a lot of common languages: music, the arts, food, coffee. We have so many common languages.
Yeah, we have two eyes, a nose.
Why can't we focus on those things rather than the differences?
It seems so much easier. And sometimes I think, do parents not teach their kids compassion? I know, you know, when my children were growing up, we were talking about loving people and respecting them and listening to them and disagreeing, maybe, but listening and to have respect for their opinion, your opinion, etc. Do these people not have that? I don't know, because we
don't know. But we raised our kids the way we felt was the right way.
Yeah.
Today, I think most parents, you know, spend some time, some quality time, but maybe a little bit more distracted.
Yeah.
With their cell phones. You go to a restaurant, you see a whole family sitting around a table, everybody's on a phone.
I go into my elevator and I see a little kid in a carriage who's maybe 14 months old with a phone because they want them to be quiet.
So what's influencing them? It's not so much the parents anymore. It's what is on social media.
Yeah.
They have become sort of the source of knowledge, morals, values, and some of it is not correct.
Exactly.
Yeah. So on that happy note, we have a great future ahead.
We do. You know what? My mom used to say, in spite of everything, look at this world.
No, it's true.
Beautiful.
It's true.
And that's what I loved about her, was that positivity. And before she passed away, she said, Marlene, you've done everything for me. The world is beautiful. Go out there and get it. And
it really is.
Yeah. So that's why it's worth living and worth going through this crap. Not worth it, but, you know, getting past it.
Yeah, we have to get past it. Look, ants, when ants look at people, they don't even know that we're people, right? They have their own world.
Exactly.
They think it's a beautiful world. But then I said, you know, I wish I was an ant sometimes. Sometimes I wish I was an ant. But then I said, maybe I don't want to be an ant because I might be a slave to a queen, right?
Right.
And my head might get bitten off.
Or you might get stepped on.
Or stepped on, exactly. by a huge number of animals and people. Basically, we got to make the best of what we have. This is it. This is what we got. This is where we're at. Let's see what we can do to make it better. So we talk to young people. You saw the film. I talk to young people almost every day.
It's amazing.
I was yesterday at a high school, and it's wonderful to talk to them because they really get it. They really get it. It resonates with them.
Yeah.
I use examples that they could relate to. I really want, the next generation to have a good life, a safe life, a productive life, a fruitful life, a happy life.
Yeah.
We all want that for our kids. You want that for your kids, right?
Of course.
And I'm sure, they want it too.
Yeah.
The problem is that there's a lot of polarization in this world, and that's a problem. And I think it's the most divided time I've ever seen of a society. It's so divided.
Yeah. My son was born in Guatemala. Both my kids were. And he looks Guatemalan. And he said that in school he argues for Jews when people say nasty things, and they're saying, why are you even for them? You're not even Jewish. And he said, well, I am. So on one hand, I feel kind of relieved that he won't get picked on just randomly.
Right.
On the other hand, I'm so angry that he has to defend us and himself and so on.
Right.
And it's all over. And his school is not bad, but when they get together and they have conversations, there are a lot of Jew-hating kids.
Unfortunately, they don't even know why they're Jew-hating kids.
That's the thing that
they want to be identified with some kind of a mission, right? A purpose. But that's the shame of the whole thing. And that's why we have to keep mitigating with education. Yeah. We cannot stop, and we got to keep pushing back. It's different times. It's not really the 1930s. People say it's the echoes of the 1930s, but it's not exactly It's not exactly the same. So I think that we have a lot more say. I think we have a lot more power. We also have Israel. So you lived in Romania, and then you lived in Israel. So the food you ate in Romania, obviously Romanian food. My father, is it goulash? Do they eat goulash? What do they eat?
Goulash and polenta and a lot of meat.
so you grew up on that in
the fish,
Romania.
the carp in the bathtub.
In the bathtub.
Yes.
The gefilte fish, no?
No, this is the carp. My mom this was in Israel, not Romania.
Oh, in Israel.
But, she used to get a couple of fish. Yeah. They put them in the bathtub, let them swim for a day, and then she would kill them. I never ate meat at the time, and I never ate fish. It grossed me out. I would play with them. I would sit there and, pet them while they were in the tub. And then they were on the table for food. Same thing with pigeons. My father had pigeons. I used to go out to the terrace and play with the pigeons. And one day I come home from school and he's cooking.
He's cooking one of the pigeons.
I'm like, how could you? God. That was my friend.
That is so crazy. Joanne, my wife, has a similar story. They raise rabbits, at home in Malta, and pigeons, by the way, but rabbits in particular.
Yeah.
It's
and they're so
cuisine
cute.
over there.
Yeah.
And so she's playing with the rabbit, and one day she sees the same rabbit on a dinner table, and it freaked her out.
Yeah.
In Israel, you ate Middle Eastern food.
Middle Eastern food.
Right. But then you ended up in Brooklyn. So what did your mom make in Brooklyn? Was it Romanian food, Middle Eastern food, or did she
Probably
attempt?
More Romanian food.
She did.
And I used to, I had a friend a floor below me, and I loved eating there. You'd get a flat hamburger, French fries, and I'd come home and I'd say to my mom, what's wrong with you? Why can't you make a hamburger flat? Why does it have to be little and puffy?
Right. My mom, too, made little puffy burgers. You're right. Yeah. Handmade. Right? More like a meatball.
Exactly. I was like, I want a flat. I want to eat American food. And she just looked at me.
Oh, my God. The same story. I told my mom, why can't you make spaghetti meatballs like the Russos next door? Because I was eating pacha, which is this jiggly witch's brew, I call it.
Yeah, it's because like eggy and...
It's made out of calf hooves, boiled calf hooves.
Yes.
Made into jelly with eggs and garlic and meat, and it was just so gross. And that's when I just couldn't take it. I said, Ma. And so she ran out and she thought it was American food. Well, We were raised on shake and bake, basically. She thought this is American food, so she made us shake and bake. She threw everything into shake and bake: fish, chicken, meat.
Oh, I remember the pizza. Now it's very popular. It's called bone soup. It's good.
Oh, is that what they call it? The bone soup? Is it pacha?
Well, pacha, not exactly bone soup, but bone soup is very big with the feet and everything.
Oh, God.
Because,
not for me. Thank you. No thanks.
Yeah, exactly.
And so what did you learn from your parents when you grew up with them? What kind of values?
Well, the values they taught me was to be very polite. For example, I could never be on a bus and sit as long as an older person. Didn't have to be a really old person. If there was a person who was an adult, I had to get up. Mm-hmm. Go on a bus now and see what happens. So politeness was like a huge issue. Mm-hmm. Respect.
Very good.
Respect for elders, number one. Mm-hmm. And having friendships was another thing.
Valuing your friends,
Valuing your friends.
And family.
And making
big.
your home beautiful.
That was big. Mm-hmm.
A home was very important.
Yes.
They didn't like animals. I once brought 5 cats in.
My parents didn't like animals either.
And
they didn't want a pet.
Yeah. I finally got a dog, which they let me have for a while. But they basically, that's the normal side. The abnormal side, which I didn't even know, was that my bedtime stories were about the Holocaust. My mother would start telling me about her relatives that she lost, and she could never sleep without reading a book first, a romance book, something to get her completely off the track. Otherwise, she would start thinking about everything. And my father would wake us up in the middle of the night screaming from his dreams.
Oh, wow.
And we would have to wake him up, give him water, tell him he's home, he's not in concentration camp anymore. So it was really interesting. I didn't know that other people didn't have those.
Right. My dad, too, would wake up in the middle of the night crying.
Yeah, I didn't know that there were other ways to grow up. And, I was completely, sometimes I think I'm still in the Holocaust because I have all the stories, the heartaches, etc. And I thought that was normal until just maybe 5 years ago, I started thinking about trauma and what is that word?
PTSD?
PTSD. I had no
intergenerational trauma.
Yeah, I had no idea about that. I just thought it was normal.
Right.
And when I went to buy bread for my mom as a young child, we had the overhead trains, and I would play a game with myself, and I would say, if the thing was bombed and it went down, how quickly can you get through alive? And I would run. I mean, it wasn't a big thing. But to have that imagination, to start to think about safety, I would always look at places and think, okay, if something happens, where do I go?
Right.
And I didn't know that was ridiculous or, something that has stayed with me. But, and my father would always talk about having to conserve everything because there was nothing around. So I would write very small on pages to conserve the page.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you have these little things that come through that you're not aware of, that are not totally normal. I mean, I guess everybody has some sort of something from anywhere.
But it's true. All traumas, actually, all PTSDs leave the victim and descendants with some kind of inherited triggers.
Yeah.
Right? Like sometimes I hear somebody painted a swastika. I don't know what they're trying to trigger. I mean, are they trying to intimidate us, scare us? We're not scared. We built New York, right?
Exactly.
We did. We're part of the New York fabric. We're not going anywhere.
No.
So I don't understand what they're trying to do and why they're trying to scare us, but it's not going to work. And it's fruitless because we are a resilient bunch. Do you know that we are the finest of the finest? Really, all the Jews that somehow managed to survive for 2,000 years after pogroms and crusades, right? And inquisitions and genocides and massacres. We're the best of the best. Those that survived, we inherited some of their survival
instincts.
Correct. Yes. So, listen, well,
And I think to honor that and to honor ourselves, we need to live life to the fullest, to be thankful every day, and not to become like them. Sometimes I think there's a famous picture of a guy who's about to be shot, a very religious Jew. I have it sitting in my house, the picture of him, and I look at that and I say, you know what? He's lucky, I'm lucky that we don't have that kind of thinking and acting and hatred in us. I'd rather be me and, God forbid, get hurt than hurt someone because I think that they're horrible or whatever.
Right.
It's such a bad way to live. So I think we just have to continue being good human beings, fun human beings, and to keep making the world better.
And making the best out of life.
Exactly.
This was a brilliant discussion. This was a fun discussion.
It was.
I never thought this would be so much fun, quite honestly. Usually they're pretty serious. We talk about the horrors of the Holocaust, and that's just typical because we heard it from our parents.
Yeah.
But your perspective on life is so positive and energetic and electric. And I always said that you are bigger than life. You really are, Marlene. You really are.
Thank you.
You're a wonderful human being. You do so many great things. You inspire so many people. You motivate people. You cheer up any crowd. You really do. Anytime you show up, you bring the sunshine with you. So I want to thank you so much.
Thank you
for sharing some of that.
And I can't wait to see the museum. I'm so excited.
It's a beautiful museum. You're going to love it. You're absolutely going to love it. And I want to thank you for carving out the time, and for Herb for bringing you here today. And it's so wonderful to reconnect with you and giving us your insights and your wisdom. And I want to thank my listening audience today for joining me here on Raised by Survivors here on hmTV at the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center. I'm Bernie Furshpan. Until next time.